Hi guys, it's Tom here from Goblin King Games. Thought I'd put together a video rather than the usual forms of communication, just because we've got so much news going on at the moment. I just thought it'd be the quickest and easiest way to get it all out across to you guys. So, first of all, some of you might already know we've made some changes to our distribution chain, and we're now working with TT Combat and Kingsley Distribution. So TT Combat are going to take over the miniature manufacturing and our assembly and stock storage, and Kingsley will deal with retail distribution once we've got those stockpiles built up enough. One of the really cool things, and one of the reasons why we chose to work with TT Combat, is the quality of their resin. We've decided we're going to move over exclusively to resin, at least for the time being. And one of the reasons was we had a test miniature made, this Joanna miniature. I might flash up a painted one done by yours truly now. And she was kind of a test miniature to see the quality of their production. One of the things that's really impressed me and made me decide to both go with them and make resin our primary production material was, if you look at this piece of resin from our previous range and I bend it, it's gonna snap. It snapped at about certainly less than 90 degrees, perhaps about 60 degrees. If I take this sprue, this is a TT Combat sprue, and just nip this bit off and bend this. Now I did this in the summer and I managed to get it a full 180. There you go, it's going to do it. There you go, it's going to go all the way around and touch itself without snapping. There you go. And all the way back to being bent straight again, which is much more durable even than the metal that we had before. And obviously you get the casting quality of resin. And we've done a lot of work on our costings, and we are actually going to be reducing the cost slightly of some of our items. One of the items in particular we're going to be reducing quite a bit, which is the starter set. The starter set, if you remember from the Kickstarter, was a large box, like a board game style box. But when we actually came to production, we found that it was probably too large for the components, and we filled it with loose fill. What we want to do is get the cost down of that starter set so it's as affordable as possible for new players. So we've shrunk the box down as much as we possibly can, so it's now about twice the size of a Troupe box, and we're using exactly the same style of packaging as we used on those Troupe boxes, which we got a lot of positive feedback for. We've also made changes inside. The rules pamphlet we've shrunk down a bit. We're obviously using resin miniatures of this new material, which we're really happy with. We've had some little tweaks made to some of the sculpts where parts were breaking for people. We've thickened them up. We've taken out the Moonstone branded marker pen and tape measure, because they were quite expensive components along with the box, and replaced them with an acrylic movement widget instead. We've reduced the number of energy tokens down from 50 to 30, but we've made them thicker. So the best thing about all of this is we got that RRP down from £65 per starter set to £55 per starter set, which I'm really excited about, and I think it's going to mean that we can entice new players into the game more easily. Other news, huge news, really big. We are coming back to Kickstarter in about 6 weeks' time on the 27th of March. We've got a completely brand new faction. Moonstone at the moment has Commonwealth, Dominion. We're now bringing a new faction, which is going to be called the Lesher Vault, which are worshippers of a nature, a god of nature, the natural cycle, growth and death, entropy. And it's going to be a mixed race faction. We're going to have humans, gnomes, giants, fairies, fauns. Fauns are coming at last. I've been dropping hints about them for ages, and I've got to say, I think it's you know, they're early days in their playtesting, but I think it's definitely the most interestingly designed from a rules mechanics perspective that we've ever done. We've obviously learned from all the previous factions that we've done, and these guys are going to be great. I'll throw up some of the initial art that we've got at the moment now. There's a whole load more to come. If you're following us on Twitter or Facebook, you're going to see every week new bits of art being dropped on you guys over the next 6 weeks leading up to the Kickstarter. One of the reasons for doing it is I'm now full-time on Moonstone, so we always said to people before we wouldn't go back to Kickstarter just because trying to fit it in on evenings and weekends on top of a day job was a big commitment, and we wanted to kind of have a little bit more control and drip releases out slowly. Now with me being full-time, that bottleneck to our growth is no longer there. What we need for growth is just more working capital. So going back to Kickstarter with a whole load of new stuff should allow us to really grow this game and get it as big as it could be and should be. Also, the Kickstarter will likely include a Moonstone, made for Moonstone terrain pack, MDF terrain, which we're working with TT Combat with to design the specification for that at the moment. So that could be really cool, could be a good low-cost option for your Moonstone terrain. And it goes without saying, we're going to pack this Kickstarter full of lots and lots of limited edition exclusive stuff that you can only get in the Kickstarter. We kind of wished in our first Kickstarter we'd done more of that, and we're going to do that. So that should be really good. It's worth looking out for. Keep your eyes peeled, and more information will be coming out over the next few weeks. What else? We have a web store. At last, we've got our own store. It's not live as of yet. Today is the 12th of Feb, but we're expecting to have it launched by the end of the month or early March latest. The site is basically built, and I'll throw up a graphic so you believe me. And all we're now waiting for is just to basically get the required amount of stock assembled. Everything's on order, everything's in production. It's literally just a matter of weeks until we can open the gates on that, as it were, and start selling directly. Other news, we've got new Troupe Boxes coming for all existing races. So as well as this new faction, which is standalone expansion, we've got a new gnome Troupe Box coming called Outlanders. The Joanna miniature that I showed earlier on is from that. That's the first miniature we've produced from our new upcoming range. We've got Blood Magic box for the fairies, Rags to Riches for the humans, and Booty's Bilge for the goblins, goblin pirates. So no matter what you've already collected, there'll be a new Troupe Box coming along that you can add onto your collection. We're going to be bringing those out perhaps every 6 to 8 weeks throughout the year. They are from Book 2. We're working on our Book 2 at the moment. We've got 6 new scenarios, we've got a few new rules, and we've got a whole bucket load of new characters. There's another 30 characters that fit into the existing Commonwealth and Dominion factions. These 4 Troupe Boxes are the first of 12 Troupe Boxes that will actually be in the Book 2 when that eventually lands. Other news, we are going to be at a few conventions this year, so if you want to come along and get a demo, we are at Salute. We've got our own booth this year, yay, which is booth number TF04. So that's on April the 6th and at XL Centre London. So hope to see you there. We're going to be fully stocked by that point. And it'll be all the new range of the products. So come and see us. You can buy anything that we've released to date, and you can get a demo. And we can show you what we're bringing out for the Kickstarter and what we're bringing out for existing factions. So definitely come and find us. It's going to be a really, really exciting year. We've got a brand new demo board made, which is absolutely gorgeous. and we're going to be running demos all day. So yeah, come along and see us. We're going to be at Dicini in May the 6th in Norwich. I think it's a one-day event, and we're just going to be running a demo table, and we'll have a small amount of stock for sale there as well. We're going to be back at UK Games Expo. We will be sharing a booth with TT Combat again, as we did last year. That's on May the 31st to the 2nd of June. And we're also hoping to head over to Spiel this year on the 24th to 27th of October. We have very kindly been offered some space on Element Games' booth. So for our European fans, maybe you can see us there. I think that's about it. The last thing I'll just say is, if you're not already, join the Moonstone Players group on Facebook. We've just recently hit 400 players now. It tends to be the place where I drop most of our spoilers and tacticas, and people post their painted miniatures and their game reports and all that kind of stuff. So if you're already a player, or even if you're just thinking about Moonstone and you want to just find out more about it, do a search on Facebook for Moonstone Players Group, and you'll get tons more information. I'm going to go because it sounds like my nephew is about to start playing the drums upstairs, so that's going to be it for now. But hope to see you all at those conventions, and definitely check out that Kickstarter.